What's popping? What's popping? Let's get it. Let's get it, man. Hey, it's a beautiful Monday. The sun's shining good. It's kind of cold out here today, but hey, we gonna get it in. We gonna get it in, man. And today, we're gonna talk about men building the legacy. And hold on, first I'm gonna give y'all a definition of, it's men definition to a legacy, but I'm gonna give y'all a definition that I really liked. Um, let's wait till this car pass by because it's loud as hell. We do this every day. Uh, man, I'm tripping. The definition of a legacy is something that is passed on, but legacy can take many forms. A legacy may be one, be of one's faith, ethics, and core values. A legacy may be monetary or assets. A legacy may come from one's character, reputation, and the life you lead, setting an example for others and to guide their futures. So a legacy, man, it could be money, land, just the way you live your life as a man, bro. The way you live your life, the way you live your life can get passed down to your kids. It can get passed down to your kids, all to your nephews and nieces and stuff like that. And it's very important, man, because we don't start. Well, I know for most men, especially most black men, we don't really start thinking about legacy until we already made a lot of mistakes. We don't get the chance to think about legacy early because nobody really sit us down and talk to us about that. Even when we go to church, we don't learn about legacy. We learn about what John and Peter did. And no offense to them, but it's almost 2023. We have to be specific, man. Like, we have to correct the mistakes that we didn't know while we was young. And like I said earlier, the first thing, what will your kids think? What your kids gonna think about you? Are they gonna think you was a loser? Are they gonna think you, no matter what, your kids gonna love you? I don't care how many times you hear people say, I hate my dad. It's a thin line between love and hate. It's a thin line between it. It's always some love there. That's why they say they hate them. It's always some love there. They might be disappointed because the dad wasn't there. Your dad wasn't there. You might be disappointed, but we're going to get to that, But what will your kids think about you? Like, what will you leave them behind? And it don't always have to be money, but that'll be a good thing to leave behind. But the way you live your life, that's why I had to change the things I was doing as a man. Even the videos I make, like, my son, I want my son to be able to look at YouTube and be like, okay, he got answers. So even if I die, my son got answers. He can come to YouTube and he can get answers on how to navigate through this life. Man, I don't know everything, but I know some things. I'm only 32. I don't know everything, but I do know some things, and I do know how to bounce back from certain mistakes I made when I was young. Even for daughters, man. Like, for my daughter, she at least I hope she do learn, how to choose a man. Because I'm not going to always be here for her. I wish I could, so I had to change the content I put out. I had to change the way I look for sex. I had to change the way I look at women. I had to change all that, to think about my legacy. So it don't always have to be money, man. It can be the way you live your life. And I never heard this when I was 21, 22. So for you young guys that listen to this, man, start thinking about your legacy, man. Because every mistake you make, every accomplishment you make is important. There was a cop. Hopefully he don't come back. But if he come back, oh well. But like, every accomplishment, every mistake is important, bro. It adds to your legacy or it takes away from your legacy. And that's real. And I'm gonna get to the mistakes I made to my legacy, And the next one. If you die right now, I'm not gonna ask you how you feel, but let's say you on your deathbed and you ain't just like die automatically. If you on your deathbed and you haven't lived the life you wanted to live because you waiting on the perfect time, how you gonna feel about that? How you gonna feel about that? How you gonna feel about that? You know, you have to start living the life you want to live, man. You have to start thinking about your legacy. You have to start thinking about your future, bro. And I know it's kind of like cliche, but you really do. And many dudes don't hear this when they're young. They don't hear, oh, think about your legacy. They hear YOLO, like have fun, like smash all these chicks. I'm telling you, bro, one mistake can mess up your whole legacy. And it'll have you working backwards just to go back forwards. I'm telling you, it's really real. Your legacy is really important. You know, if you're on your deathbed and you're not living the life you want to live, like, how you gonna feel about that? That's probably the worst feeling in the world, bro. Me, I'm living the life I'm evolving how I thought I would evolve. You know, some dudes evolve when they 37, 38, and I'm only 32, bro. And this what I had in mind, like this who I imagine myself becoming. You know, like I'm not the perfect guy, but I can give advice through my mistakes, and that's what I love, you know? The next thing is, man, be selfish, bro. You know, be selfish. And I'm not saying like just be a asshole and nah, be selfish, bro. Think about building for yourself first. You know, think about building for yourself first. Don't be out here worry about, okay, how I'm gonna make this date perfect. Now look, you gonna have some of us guys go look up and find that girl that got your back like that. You know, some of us guys, that's gonna happen. You know, but it's very few. It's very few. But you'll know when that time comes, you know, because she'll be there in your lowest of lowest times. But for the other guys, look, man, be selfish. Don't be out here trying to plan dates from girls you just met on Bumble and girls you just met off Hinge. And man, look, plan your life. Plan your life. The same way you plan those dates, plan your life, bro. Like, these girls don't care about you. They got a whole roster. And ironically, they like girls too. So they got a whole roster of men and they got a whole roster of chicks. They don't like just men, they like chicks too. So this world is crazy now, bro. And we don't judge nobody. Like, I like girls who like girls. You know, I'm not tripping off that. But I'm telling you, don't be out here dedicating your whole life to these girls, bro, that you just meeting, like, quickly, because they don't like you like that, man. It's gonna be a temporary little fling. Y'all gonna bounce off, and then y'all gonna move on to the next candidate. That's it. That's how it goes these days. You know, that's how it goes these days. So you have to, the same energy you put into these women, bro, you have to put that energy into yourself. You know, that's very important, man. And you don't have to be an asshole to women. You don't have to be an asshole to them. You know, but love yourself first, man. Put that love into yourself. Do things for yourself that you've been doing for other people. You know, especially as men, bro. Like, we really have to start caring for ourselves, man. Not just our outer appearance, but our mental and our soul too. That's why it's good, bro. It's good to have a group of friends. I don't care if it's 2 dudes, 3 dudes, 4. You know, a small group of men, bro, you can always talk to. And that's very important too, man. Don't isolate yourself, man, because you'll go crazy. You will go crazy, you know. And the next one, mistakes. I'm telling you, mistake I made. Well, I don't call it a mistake, but just wrong timing. You know, I like with my daughter. I had my daughter, and at the time I wasn't mature enough to take care of a family. I wasn't mature enough to lead. I wasn't mature enough, you know, and that's a hole to my legacy. That's a hole. That's a car pass. That's a hole to my legacy. When I could have been there with my daughter, seeing her wake up in the morning and just doing, you know, what a father does, teaching her daily, you know, it's gonna be a point in time where she's with me, when she's, you know, like when I get custody of her, joint custody, and she's with me for a certain amount of time and stuff like that. But as a father, you want to be with your child every day. You know, unless you're working and stuff like that, but you really want to be in your child's life. Like, you really want to be in your child's life daily. That's very important. That's very important, man. And some of us guys, like, that's a hold to our legacy. Cause not only that, for some of us, what you got another man raising your child and stuff like that. That's our bloodline, That's our bloodline. So that's a hold to our legacy. But the best thing about your legacy, man, is when you decide that you want to change in your life, you can change it. You can change it. A legacy will never be perfect, but you can always come back and fix it up and shape it back together. You can always do that, but it starts up here. It starts up here. It starts taking risks. It starts making sacrifices for yourself. And my sacrifice was to go a year on semen retention. I have to. If I don't, my legacy won't be shit. My legacy won't be shit if I don't take this journey and take it serious and not just play, and take it serious, man. And the last thing, man, is bouncing back. In life, people will always tell you, oh, it's over. You might as well just do this forever. And, man, it's never over. It's never over. And once you take this journey, man, you gonna feel that way. You gonna feel that way consistently. It's never over, bro. It's never over. You can always get back in your child life. You can always become that man you want to be. You can always recreate your legacy. You can always recreate your legacy. It's up to you, though. It's up to you. It's not up to mom, dad, your brothers. It's up to you. Like, what you gonna do? You feel me? What you gonna do? Because your legacy is important. When you die, what will your kids say about you? Because once you have kids, bro, they matter. Forget everybody else. Well, don't forget them, but their opinions don't really matter about you. Your kids matter, bro. If you don't have kids right now, trust me, y'all dudes who don't have kids right now, you're gonna have kids. You're not always gonna be this little boy you envision yourself to be. One day you gonna be a father. So you have to start planning for your legacy. You have to stop doing things for your legacy. Y'all have a good day, man. And remember, bro, what will your legacy be? Will your kids say he didn't leave us nothing? Will they be proud of you, or will they hate you? And like I say, bro, it's a thin line between love and hate. Kids go say certain things, and it's a thin line between that. But God knows what's in your heart. Whoever you serve, your heart is pure, bro. Your heart is pure, and it could be pure evil, and it could be pure, like, beautiful or good. And as long as your heart, and this is what I learned in life. I know I said go, but this is what I learned in life. As long as you got a pure heart, man, as long as you got good intentions, bro, things go eventually go your way. And if they don't, eventually it's going to happen. That's it. You just got to stay consistent at whatever you're doing. Y'all have a good day.